Okay, a little bit of weathering. Going to go on to the F16. So actually what I've done is I've done 5 parts of the paint colour of dark gunship grey, and then I've added 1 drop of flat white, and then I've added quite a bit of thinner to thin it out. So then what we're going to do is pick out the centre of all the panels. So what you're going to do is look for the areas around these little ones in here, the small little panels, and work our way around. Now the thing is, you're trying to keep it random, and this is where it'll test your airbrushing skills in. And the idea is it's just a very subtle tonal difference. You don't want anything too harsh. Now it's difficult to pick out, I think, on the camera, but needless to say they're in there. And then obviously all you do is pick out all the panels and you're just trying to put some tonal difference, so when the wash goes in over the top it makes it stand even more out for the panel line, to the way it gets the sort of dirt effect, the grime around it. It shows a lot easier on the bottom with the pre-shading, so you don't really need a great deal of it down there, but certainly on darker colours it helps it give it that certain depth, the worn look, perhaps touch up to paint some various other bits and pieces. So really all you're going to do is work all the way around the model, say picking out all the panels that you can that have got quite distinctive marks. You don't want to be going around doing every single little bit, but certainly big panels where they would bleach in the sun perhaps. Okay, that's that all done. Now we're going to add another drop or two of white to that very same bit of paint that you've already got running in your airbrush at that point. So what you're doing is the next lighter shade of grey, and then what you need to do is blow through all that old paint that you've used till you come to the new colour. You'll see it immediately appear. It's because we're only going to do this in a few areas which get the most sort of wear and tear, if you like, which are going to be the access panels, perhaps around the gun bay, various bits and pieces like that. One of the, there again, it's one of those things, check your references if you're doing it exact. This one's a little bit of a, a hybrid. It's just an idea that I've had for weathering. I'm not using a specific aircraft in mind, but here we go. So check your pressure as always, and then just pick out those particular little panels that would have had a little bit more bleaching to them. Remember, we don't want to go around every single one because you're trying to build up a sort of a random pattern, if you like, on the model. If you put too much on and it's just on every single panel, you might as well have done it light in the first place. So just picking out little areas all over the aircraft just to give it a nice tone down. At the end of the day, what we're actually doing is it's a visual effect, nothing more. The real aircraft perhaps don't even have this type of thing on them, but by varying the shade, varying the depth of the colour, you're actually just drawing the eye into the paint. Instead of it being one block of grey, especially on gunship grey, you can actually, by changing the colours and having lighter and darker panels, you're sort of just drawing the viewer's eye along the model, and it stops it looking like just a brick of a dark colour. So really just little randomised areas. Perhaps if you've made a mistake on the last one, just do this one over the top. It will help to vary it up. On this one as well, you might be able to hear it, but the air pressure is quite high because we want a nice, to blend totally, and you don't want any sort of speckly effect, so make sure your air pressure is very high. But hopefully you can see that it just breaks up the gunship grey.